Don't I know it? It's hard to find time to write. But actually, there are four psychological facts that are usually misunderstood. And when you understand these facts, the writing process gets so much easier, which is what we're going to get into because we are on the map to infinite creativity. So, this is a quest I created that really incorporates the elements of creativity so that you can get your book out into the world. So if you would like a copy of this map, just there's a link right below and you can download it for yourself with really helpful prompts and all the classes that I've created along the way. So here is where we are. We're right smack in the middle of love the creative process. The past classes are the source of infinite inspiration, dreaming and planning your book for structure, unlocking possibility through habits. And now we're going to talk about the psychological facts about creativity that are going to help you find time to write and love the creative process. So lately, I've been doing a little psychological research for the book that I'm working on about creativity. And here's the first one. So creativity develops. It doesn't come like a lightning bolt. This is so important to understand because either we're waiting for inspiration and that's why we're not finding time to write, or we expect something to be genius right away. And it's just not the way it works. From Einstein to people who like Picasso, anybody who has evolved something really new and unique, they come up with the napkin version. They just jot down the first idea that occurs to them, and then they start to ponder it. And over time, it becomes something bigger. This is actually the process that I've just been through myself with this map to infinite creativity. So when I first started working on this, I just called it creative recovery. I wanted to talk about getting your recovery back after you're feeling down and out, whatever. But then the more I talked about it, the more I discussed it in my Facebook group, I realized people wanted an easy to execute map. And so I made it, and then it got even more momentum. So start by just jotting something down on a napkin and then see where it goes from there. Because, and this is the second misunderstood fact about creativity. So the brain ponders unfinished projects more than it thinks about things that you got done. And that's kind of obvious. We don't realize it, but if you get down that first draft, that is just, oh my gosh, I don't love it, but it's on paper, your brain is going to figure that out more and actually develop it more than if you wrote a blog and you're like, this is perfect, this is done. Then your brain stops thinking about it. It's in the past. So if you can find just 15 minutes to start that idea, these first two psychological facts go hand in hand. If you can just spend a little time on that idea, then it starts to form a knot in your brain, and your brain keeps going back to it. And your subconscious will actually do a lot of the work for you, which is wonderful. It makes everything so much easier. So that's the second psychological fact. The third one, I have found that clients are so happy when they learn this. Momentum works better than pressure. So in these first two psychological facts, we've started to build momentum. And the fact is, sometimes we feel like, oh, I didn't get enough done. Oh, I need to make a deadline. That actually produces stress chemicals, which slows down creativity and limits the divergent thinking in your mind. When you have momentum around an idea, when your brain keeps going back to it, when you're developing it over time, that momentum without pressure produces dopamine. Dopamine produces creativity. So progress and momentum produce dopamine, and dopamine makes you more creative. It makes it easier. So that's not to say that deadlines have no place. They do, as long as they don't produce stress and anxiety. So for instance, let's say I was going to tell you, I want you to build a castle by the end of the year. If you've never built a castle before, that's just going to cause you anxiety. It's not going to make you any more likely to build a castle. But if you're an architect, if you've done this before, that might become a fun challenge. And so that little bit of pressure is good, but pressure that knocks you off your feet and just produces anxiety, that's not creative. So just getting some momentum, giving yourself rewards, and moving forward. Then the final misunderstood psychological fact about creativity. This is a fun one. When you write, you get better at life. So figuring out your thoughts on a piece of paper, organizing your thoughts on a piece of paper actually helps you think about life in general. So problem solving on paper makes problem solving in life easier. When problem solving in life is easy, life is easier. And so it's interesting because in the Facebook group, that link is down below. All the links are down below. Creativity map, all of it is down below. When you get your ideas organized on paper, when you give it structure, when you start to follow through with your book, that builds muscle that you can apply to any other aspect of your life. And recently, when I was talking in the Facebook group, organizing was one of the things that came up as one of the biggest blocks. So also down below, another link. If you want to set up a 20-minute coffee to start talking about your ideas, I love doing this. I love getting to know people more, to just start to get your ideas organized. This is something I'm happy to do because it helps me get to know my community. So if you want to talk about your book with me, you're going to find that link down there too. Go for it. Let's take 20 minutes to talk through your ideas. I'm happy to do it. So every single Friday, I put out a new class just for you to help you solve the problems of your book. This helps a lot too. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And if you want some tips, if you want this map to infinite creativity, just sign up and I'll send everything nice and organized to your email. I hope you have a great weekend and work on your book. See you soon. Bye.